What's up guys, my name is Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be showing you where the Xur is for January 4th, 2019. It's going to take a while to learn how to say 2019. It's been a very long time in 2018. One would say almost an exact year. Basically, you can find the Xur on Earth in his regular location, travel to the Winding Cove, make your way up here. He's on top of the cliff here. You can see the spawn is just right over there, and you can find his inventory, which yet again does not contain any Forsaken exotics or black armor for that matter. I gotta say, Bungie, I am deeply concerned with the state of the Xur right now. Obviously, the Xur is really not that big of a deal, but I am deeply concerned because the Xur becomes useless when he is useless. A lot of people have had all the exotics from before Forsaken because exotics were a lot more common. It makes the Xur completely useless outside of getting random rolls if we cannot actually get any new exotics out of him, because the Xur is all about like, oh, hopefully he's selling something that I need so I can go get it, and now he doesn't, and that's deeply disappointing. Anyways, let's go ahead and get on with it. The Graviton Lance being the weapon sold this week. It used to be the absolute PvP try-hard, the absolute PvP powerhouse, used to almost 2-burst to enemies. It was insane, and then they nerfed it after, of course, giving it that buff to make it insane. Basically, if you don't know, this weapon has a 2-burst system, and that second shot does 10 times the damage of the first shot, more than 10 times, I think, actually, maybe not more. On top of that, kills with this weapon cause cosmology, basically void projectiles that seek and track the target, basically Axion darts that can actually get a ridiculous amount of damage and actually kill the target, on top of the fact that they detonate, so you can actually get extra double kills with this weapon in PvP, and I have gotten quite a few. And as well, on top of that, the catalyst, which helps the targeting, basically a hidden hand kind of thing, helps you get better target adjustment if you get 1,000 cosmology kills on top of 500 regular gun kills, which I still have yet to do because that is a ridiculous amount of kills. So overall in PvP, it's kind of averaging, and PvE has never really been the good. Coming up for the Hunter exotic today is going to be the Celestial Nighthawk, with probably one of the more disturbing of the ornaments on them. But basically, this Celestial Nighthawk, if you do not know, turns your golden gun, your 3 shots, turns it into 1 shot that does 6 times the damage. So effectively, your super doing twice the damage that it did originally if you were on the 3 shot. If you're on the 6 shot, it basically just takes all 6 and puts it into 6 times damage, which is just the same as the 6. So make sure you're using sharpshooter when you're using this exotic, and you can do some incredible amounts of burst damage. It's actually really incredible, and the fact that it's just 1 shot, 1 and done, you can move over to using your sniper rifle very, very quickly, which makes it probably the best thing for boss DPS damage, for killing off single targets, for doing pretty much everything that has to do with doing a lot of damage very, very quickly. As far as the role goes, hand cannon targeters, very, very nice. Always nice to have in PvE or PvP. And then finally, for PvE-centric column 3, it's going to be sniper rifle reserves and machine gun reserves, which is superior for the raids because of the fact that you spawn in with full ammo with the raid banners. Having a higher total ammo is more important than having scavenger. So either one of these is very good for PvE, which is where this exotic shines. So I highly recommend you pick this up. This is a good role on a very good exotic. Next up, we have a Titan exotic known as Dune Marchers. Basically, these sprint legs, you basically have increased sprint speed, and on top of that, after sprinting for like, I think, a second or so, you build up a static charge. Mailing an enemy causes that enemy damage, and it chains lightning to the nearby enemies. Now, this has actually been buffed, and I've not used it since it has been buffed. It got buffed a few months ago with the exotic tuning before Forsaken, and it's supposed to do a lot more damage than it did before because it did not no damage at all, but I would say it's still probably not that interesting. And on top of that, the Lions Rampant are the superior sprint boots because they actually make it so you can go faster over a longer period of time. I've actually tested this side by side, and it does go like 5 to 10% faster than this thing, which is significant when compared to a sprint boot. Outside of that, the roll on it, obviously restoration is superior. Getting hand cannon dexterity is really nice. Outreach is really nice because of the fact you are looking for melee stuff, so it increases your melee output with the legs, which is a good synergy with its exotic perk. And finally, a 3rd column perk of Special Ammo Finder, which is the superior perk for any legs because of the fact the alternatives are literally just primary ammo scavengers, which are never really that good. And lastly, the Warlock exotic known as Sanguine Alchemy. I don't really have a lot of opinions on this because I've never really used this, but basically when you stand in a rift, it grants you and your allies who are standing in that rift heightened senses, allowing you to retain your radar while aiming down sights, which is, convenient. Additionally, you can see nearby enemies visually marked, and they can be tracked without line of sight. I assume they have a little hit marker or they're outlined in red or whatever, which sounds really nice. Yes, it has a good synergy with Rift perks, but there's so many other exotics that are so much better to use with Rifts. For example, Resper's Evade Radius basically allows you to have more Rifts more often. Another one would be Lunafaction Rift, which allows you to have double damage with Empowering Rift. Or not double damage, double range with Empowering Rift allows you to have infinite reloading of all your allies in the Rift, which is usually what you want. Overall, there's really no reason to use this unless you're using Whispers of the Worm, which is really nice to be using this kind of thing so you can get more heightened senses, but usually it's when you're doing boss damage, which, you know, obviously makes it so there's really no point of using this exotic. So overall, I don't really like this exotic because it doesn't serve a specific purpose outside of just being a sub-tier or subpar exotic that could be replaced by another. As far as the role goes, it might be useful in PvP because of Unflinching Bow, Fusion Rifle, and Kinetic. All three of these are useful in PvP. I'm probably one of the only people that uses bows in PvP, but that's just kind of my thing. And then lastly, again, special ammo on kill, which is the superior perk for the last one. The only thing in this column is special ammo, or the primary ammo finder and primary reserves, which again is not really serve that much point. Anyways, that's pretty much the serve for you guys today. Of course, make sure you pick up your 5 of Swords if you do not have one already. It allows you to do easier Nightfalls as well as higher scoring Nightfalls. And then lastly, you have the Faded Engram, guaranteed to give you an exotic that you do not have from before Forsaken. Nothing for Forsaken and Black Armor counts, so just ignore it. It's a waste of legendary shards. Anyways, that is the video for guys today. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm gonna chill out here with my boys Evil Doctor and of course the Wraith. Is that Dr. R? Dr. R. Maybe it's Dr. R. Anyways, that's the video for you guys. My name is Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, I live.